After the officer has administered the standardized field sobriety test in Georgia, those 3 tests are, and in the correct order, the horizontal gauge nystagmus, the walk and turn, and the one-leg stand. The officer is then trained under his guidelines to administer a PBT, or preliminary breath test. Now, a lot of times the best way to describe this test is it's the box that you blew in on the side of the road. Now, the PBT is not the official state's test. For breath test, that's going to be the Intoxilizer 5000 or the new Intoxilizer 9000. That's the larger machines that you will blow in at the station. The other 2 tests are a blood test or a urine test. But the PBT is only an approved field testing device. It is not the state's test. Don't confuse this. If you're later asked during the implied consent portion of the investigation to take a state's test, don't be confused. Don't believe that you've already taken the state's test, because you haven't. The state's test is the Intoxilizer 5000, 9000, blood, or urine test. Now, the officer, once you blow in this on the side of the road, will usually not tell you what you blew. He won't tell you any number. Now, this is because the officer that tests you doesn't want you to know what you blew. In court, he can only testify, because remember, this is a approved field testing, but not the state's testing device. He can only testify in court that you were either positive or negative for ethyl alcohol on the PBT. He cannot give a number. But the reason that he doesn't want to tell you the number you blow is because if he told you you blew over the limit, you might say, it won't do me any good, I'll be better off to refuse. Or if he says you blew under the limit, then you may say, oh, well, I'll go ahead and take the state's test because I'm under. And when you take the state's test, you might not be. You might be over. But he will not tell you in most circumstances what number you blew. Now, the problem with most PBTs is that most of them don't have what's called a slope detector. Basically, a slope detector is what they use to determine whether residual mouth alcohol is present. Remember, the PBT is supposed to be testing breath. It's not supposed to be testing residual mouth alcohol that might be in your mouth, upper esophagus, and it can cause a problem. Now, that's why some of the machine's instructions say to wait 15 or 20 minutes before using a PBT. That's to let the mouth alcohol dissipate so it won't basically confuse the machine.